to personal growth. Let me ask you something deeply uncomfortable. What if the only reason you're not where you want to be is you? Not your past, not your boss, not your family, but your refusal to grow. You see, everyone wants change, but few are willing to grow through it. That's because growth requires pain, and we've been taught to avoid pain at all costs. But pain is not your enemy. This speech isn't about motivation, it's about transformation. By the end, you'll no longer wonder how to grow. You'll understand why you must and what's been silently stopping you all this time. Growth is not a product of time. It's not something that just happens to you because you've gotten older, had a few setbacks, or read a couple of books. No, growth is deliberate. It's a decision. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily choice. And the truth is, most people are not growing, they're just aging. They're repeating the same year of life over and over again and calling it experience. Real growth doesn't sneak up on you. It demands your participation. It calls for your awareness, your discipline, your willingness to look in the mirror and say, this version of me is not enough for where I'm going. That's hard, that's uncomfortable. But that's where transformation begins. You don't drift into greatness, you plan it. You sacrifice for it. You show up for it even on the days you don't feel like it. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something uncomfortable on purpose, just to grow? When was the last time you challenged your own thinking, forced yourself into a new environment, or committed to a habit that scared you? If your answer is, I don't remember, then chances are you've been coasting. And let me be clear, coasting is the silent killer of potential. It feels safe, but it's slowly robbing you of who you could become. People love the idea of change. They love the inspiration, the quotes, the books, the promises. But very few are willing to endure the process of actual growth. Because growth isn't glamorous. It's messy. It's lonely. It often means shedding parts of yourself you thought you needed. It means saying no to distractions, breaking free from toxic patterns, and distancing yourself from people who prefer the old you over the evolving you. You have to intend to grow. You have to build your day around it. You have to structure your environment, your energy, and your focus in a way that makes growth non-negotiable. No one becomes extraordinary by accident. No one becomes wise, disciplined, or successful just because life happened. They become those things because they wake up with intent, they move with purpose, and they don't settle for who they were yesterday. If you keep waiting for growth to happen, when it's convenient, it never will. Life will always give you excuses. There will always be something going on. That's why growth can't be based on feelings. It must be rooted in commitment. You either run your habits or your habits will run you. You either lead your growth or life will keep you stuck in circles of frustration. The greatest tragedy is not dying without reaching your potential. The greatest tragedy is living every day as if you have no more left. That's what happens when you treat growth like an option instead of a necessity. You get stuck, you settle. You slowly start to believe that this is all there is, when in reality, there's so much more inside of you, but it won't come out on its own. You have to go after it. You have to become relentless about evolving. Growth doesn't ask, are you ready? It simply says, it's time. Time to stop waiting. Time to stop blaming. Time to stop repeating. Because the life you want, the person you're meant to become, isn't found in comfort, convenience, or chance. It's found in the fire of intentional growth, where you wake up every day and decide, I will not waste this day. I will not waste this life. I'm here to become, but not just exist. We live in a world that worships comfort. Everything around us is designed to make life easier, faster, more convenient. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort is a trap. It's a beautifully disguised prison that convinces you you're safe while silently stealing your potential. The enemy of growth isn't failure, it's comfort. Because failure teaches, failure pushes. But comfort? Comfort makes you stop trying. It whispers, "You're fine where you are." And that one sentence is the reason so many people will never become who they were created to be. Comfort zones are not safe zones. They are danger zones in disguise. When you stay in your comfort zone, nothing new happens. You keep thinking the same thoughts, making the same choices, surrounding yourself with the same people, and repeating the same patterns. And then you wonder why nothing changes. But change cannot happen in the same environment where stagnation thrives. Growth demands discomfort, because discomfort is the signal that you're stretching, that you're doing something unfamiliar, that you're expanding beyond who you were yesterday. Most people are not held back by lack of talent or opportunity. They're held back by the fear of discomfort. They're afraid to be seen trying and failing. They're afraid to take a risk and lose something. But let me tell you something. Comfort will cost you far more in the long run. It will cost you time. It will cost you dreams. It will cost you purpose. It will cost you the life that could have been. And the tragedy is, you won't even realize it until years have passed and it's too late to go back and do it differently. Growth and comfort do not coexist. You have to choose. Every time you chase comfort, you delay your destiny. Every time you choose ease over effort, you weaken your own potential. Because comfort doesn't just keep you still, it makes you shrink. It makes you settle. It teaches you to stop expecting more. And the more you surrender to it, the harder it becomes to leave. That's how people get stuck. Not because they're incapable, but because they've grown comfortable with mediocrity. You see, life will not hand you greatness. It will offer you challenges, resistance, pressure. And it's in those moments of discomfort where growth is forged. Muscles only grow when you lift something heavy. Diamonds are only formed under pressure. The same is true for you. If everything in your life is easy, it probably means you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're slowly dying inside. Even if everything on the outside looks fine. The irony is, most people are waiting to feel ready. Waiting for the fear to disappear, waiting for the conditions to be just right before they step forward. But growth doesn't work like that. You don't feel ready and then act. You act and then you become ready. Courage comes after the step, not before it. You won't grow by thinking about it, reading about it, or talking about it. You grow by doing the uncomfortable thing over and over again until it becomes your new normal. So if you want to grow, stop chasing what's easy. Seek out the challenge. Wake up with the mindset that says, if it's uncomfortable, it's probably necessary. Stop fearing discomfort and start using it as a compass. Because every time you step into what feels hard, you step closer to who you were meant to be. Comfort may feel good now, but growth will feel better for a lifetime. Don't let the temporary ease of today become the permanent regret of tomorrow. Growth lives where comfort ends. And if you want to change your life, that's where you need to go. People talk about destiny like it's some mysterious, far-off event that just shows up one day and changes everything. But that's not how life works. Your future isn't something that suddenly appears. It's something you build. And the bricks you're using to build it, they're your daily habits. Your routine is not just a set of tasks. It's the blueprint for the life you're going to live. If you want to see your future, don't look at your dreams, look at your day. What you do daily is shaping who you become permanently. The reality is, you don't rise to the level of your goals. you fall to the level of your habits. Everybody wants success, discipline, growth, peace, but wanting it is not enough. Your life is being created by your consistency, not your intentions. Show me how you spend the first 2 hours of your day, and I'll show you exactly where your life is headed. Success doesn't start with massive changes. It starts with mastering the small things consistently. Things so small, most people overlook them. But the people who win, who evolve, who reach their full potential, they understand that greatness is hidden in the boring. If you hit the snooze button every morning, scroll your phone for 30 minutes, skip your goals, neglect your body, feed your mind with noise, and then wonder why your life feels out of control, it's not a mystery, it's math. Your routine is either planting seeds for success or reinforcing your stagnation. And the painful truth is that many people are busy, but not intentional. They're active, but not aligned. They're doing things, but not the right things. And then they blame circumstances, when in reality, their routine is the silent architect behind every result they're getting or not getting. You cannot change your life without changing your daily system. Motivation might inspire you to start, but discipline is what keeps you growing. And discipline isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Especially on the days you don't feel like it. Because those are the days that define you. The difference between the person who becomes unstoppable and the one who stays stuck is not talent, luck, or even opportunity. It's the willingness to commit to a process when the excitement is gone. People wait for a breakthrough, but breakthroughs come from repeated action. From waking up every day and doing the thing, praying when you don't feel like it, working when you're tired, learning when it's boring, pushing forward when everything says stop. That's where transformation happens, not in the highlight moments, but in the hidden hours when no one's watching. Your routine will either grow you or rot you. And the scary part is, it's happening silently. You're either compounding strength or compounding weakness, one decision at a time. So stop asking where your life is headed. Start asking, what am I doing today that's either preparing me or preventing me from becoming the person I say I want to be? Because the truth is, you don't need more inspiration. You need more structure. You need habits that are aligned with your purpose. You need to own your mornings, protect your focus, and eliminate the habits that are stealing your greatness. Your future is not out there. It's right here, buried inside your daily decisions. Small things become big things. Repeated things become permanent things. And the sooner you take control of your routine, the sooner your life begins to transform. Don't wait for your future to find you. Create it. Day by day, habit by habit, moment by moment. There comes a point in life where blaming others no longer serves you. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they left you. Yes, they disappointed you. But if you're still carrying that pain year after year, it's no longer just their damage, it's now your responsibility. Healing isn't about forgetting what happened. It's about deciding that your future deserves more than being controlled by your past. No one is coming to save you. No one can fix the wounds they didn't cause. Healing is your responsibility because your life is your responsibility. Pain is inevitable, but staying broken is a choice. And too often people wear their trauma like a badge. They let it define their identity. But healing doesn't happen by waiting. It doesn't come from time alone. Time doesn't heal. Only intentional effort does. Healing comes when you decide that your story will not end in bitterness. When you refuse to keep bleeding on people who didn't cut you. When you stop letting what happened to you be the reason you can't love, trust, or grow. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You cannot become your highest self while clinging to brokenness. Healing asks for honesty. It asks you to confront what you've avoided, to feel what you've suppressed, to forgive what you swore you never would. That doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you are not willing to let it own you anymore. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about freeing you. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel, other days the weight will return. But even on the worst days, the fact that you're still trying, that is progress. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. It means ownership. You didn't choose the trauma, but you must choose the recovery. Because until you do, you'll carry it into every relationship, every opportunity, every moment. You'll sabotage good things because you're still reacting to old wounds. You'll keep repeating cycles, not because you're cursed, but because you're unresolved. Healing is hard, but staying wounded costs more. It drains your energy, clouds your clarity, and keeps you small. Growth requires release, and healing is how you make room for that growth. Sometimes the hardest part of healing is letting go of the identity you formed in your pain, the tough, guarded version of you that helped you survive. But healing requires a different version, one that chooses vulnerability over defense, peace over pride, and faith over fear. Healing doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means you stop letting it define who you are. You are not what you went through. You are what you decide to become after it. The truth is, healing is messy. It's not a beautiful process, but it leads to a beautiful life. It's crying in silence. It's setting boundaries. It's saying no more often. It's cutting ties with toxicity. It's choosing solitude over chaos. It's rewriting the narrative in your mind, from victim to victor, from broken to whole, from pain to purpose. You owe it to yourself to do the work, not just for you, but for the people who will love you next, for the dreams that still live in you, for the peace that's still possible. Healing is your responsibility, not because it's fair, but because freedom is worth it. And freedom doesn't come from ignoring the wound. It comes from facing it, feeling it, and then finally letting it go. You were not created to live in pieces. You were created to be whole. Healing is how you get there. It starts with the decision to no longer let what hurt you hold you. That's your power, and that's your responsibility. Growth is not supposed to be comfortable. In fact, real growth almost always feels like pressure, resistance, and even pain. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want transformation without tension, elevation without effort, change without challenge. But the reality is, you can't grow without discomfort. It's the struggle that shapes you. It's the pressure that produces strength. It's the discomfort that develops character. And if you run from that, you're also running from your own potential. You will never become more while choosing to stay where it's easy. Comfort zones are seductive because they're safe and familiar, but they're also the places where dreams die. You cannot become something new while clinging to everything old. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you choose the current version of yourself over the future version you're capable of becoming. That's the trade. And if you want to rise, you have to become someone who stops seeking ease and starts seeking growth. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your training ground. It's not there to break you, it's there to build you. Just like a muscle needs resistance to grow stronger, your mind, your spirit, your discipline, all need pressure to expand. If life is too easy, it means you're not stretching. If everything feels calm, it might be because you've stopped climbing. Growth requires you to enter unfamiliar spaces, take bold actions, and walk through doors that scare you. And in those moments of doubt, fear, and resistance, that's where the real transformation is happening. Most people pray for growth, but resist the very process that produces it. They want patience, but avoid situations that test their patience. They want strength, but complain when life gets heavy. They want confidence, but won't put themselves in positions that stretch their courage. You can't have the fruit without planting the seed, watering it, and pushing through the dirt. Growth is uncomfortable because it requires shedding parts of yourself. It requires losing the lies, the excuses, the limiting beliefs, and the behaviors that no longer serve you. And yes, discomfort will make you question yourself. It will make you feel like quitting. It will expose the weakest parts of your mindset. But that's the point. Growth shows you where you still need work. It humbles you. It strengthens your resilience. It sharpens your focus. Every uncomfortable experience is either refining you or revealing something in you that still needs healing or discipline. That's why pain can be one of life's greatest teachers, if you're willing to learn. If you want a bigger life, expect bigger tests. If you want deeper peace, go through the storms. If you want unshakable faith, prepare to be shaken. Discomfort is not a sign that something's wrong. Often it's a sign that something important is shifting. Your capacity is increasing. Your limits are being challenged. And what's on the other side of that discomfort? Confidence, power, purpose, clarity, progress. But you'll never reach it if you keep backing down every time things get hard. So stop running from the struggle. Stop numbing the pain. Stop waiting for things to get easier before you decide to grow. Start walking into the fire. Start embracing the hard things. Start leaning into what stretches you. Because the version of you that you admire, the focused, disciplined, powerful, purpose-driven version, is not born in comfort. That version is forged in discomfort. And if you're willing to endure it, to stay in it, to grow through it, you will become someone you never imagined possible. Growth is painful. Change is hard. Discomfort is real. But staying the same, that's a different kind of pain. The kind that robs you quietly. So choose your pain and choose the one that leads you to your highest self. Discipline is the quiet force that builds empires, shapes legends, and separates those who simply wish from those who actually become. While others chase motivation, which comes and goes like the wind, discipline stands firm. It shows up when you don't feel like it. It works when no one is watching. It grinds in silence and delivers results when excuses could have easily taken over. The truth is, talent can get you noticed, but discipline will keep you standing when talent gets tired. In a world full of distractions, discipline will separate you. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they're not consistent. They start strong but stop at the first sign of resistance. They move when it's easy and stall when it's hard. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask if you're tired or in the mood. Discipline trains your mind to keep promises to yourself even when no one else is holding you accountable. That's the difference between someone who's stuck and someone who's rising. One waits for the right conditions. The other creates progress through consistent action. Discipline is what keeps you going long after the emotion of starting has faded. Anyone can be excited for a week. Anyone can push through for a month. But discipline is about what you do on the days you feel empty, uninspired, unseen. Do you still write the page? Still go to the gym? Still stick to your vision? Discipline isn't glamorous. It's repetitive, often boring, and uncelebrated. But it is the foundation of greatness. The person who trains daily in private will always outperform the one who only performs when it's convenient. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed. Discipline means showing up for yourself, not once, but over and over again. It means doing the hard thing first. It means saying no when temptation knocks. It means choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. That's the price of elevation. You can't reach the next level while living like everyone else. You can't have exceptional outcomes with average habits. Discipline separates you because it demands more from you, and only a few are willing to meet that demand. People will call you obsessed. Let them. They won't understand why you wake up early, why you stay up late, why you choose the grind over the party. But they don't see your vision. They don't feel what you're fighting for. Discipline will isolate you, but that isolation often becomes the space where breakthroughs are born. The more disciplined you are, the less you rely on emotion, motivation, or approval. You operate from purpose, not permission, and that's powerful. The hardest part about discipline is that no one applauds it in the beginning. You'll be working in silence, planting seeds that no one notices. But when the harvest comes, when your life looks different, when your results speak loudly, they'll wonder how you did it. The answer will be simple: discipline. You did it when it was hard. You stayed when others quit. You didn't just want it, you worked for it. Your future is not determined by how much you want something. It's shaped by what you're willing to do repeatedly. Discipline is a decision, one you make every day. It's not just what separates you from the crowd. It's what connects you to your highest potential. If you truly want to rise, don't chase motivation. Build discipline. It will take you further than talent, further than passion, further than luck. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. Build that bridge, cross it daily. Let it separate you and elevate you.